Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we are back with more members of the U.S. Supreme Court. Today we are continuing with the Morrison Waite Court on the associate justices that came in under his term. So today we are starting off with Stanley Matthews. Oh, as always, got my notebook, my handy dandy notebook. Kind of like Steve from Blue's Clues. Anyway, like I said, we're starting off with Stanley Matthews. He was born on July the 21st, 1824, in Cincinnati, Ohio, to Thomas J. Matthews and Isabella Brown Matthews. He graduated from Kenyon College in 1840 at the age of 16. He studied law under Salmon P. Chase, a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court at one point. He moved to Columbia, Tennessee to practice law and edit a newspaper there called the Tennessee Democrat from 1842 to 1844. Now, in 1843, he would marry his first wife, Mary Ann Minnie Black, with whom he would have 10 children. Unfortunately, 4 of them would die from a scarlet fever outbreak in 1859. And the 5th would later die 9 years later. So, yeah. He would move back to Cincinnati in 1844 and eventually be admitted to the bar there. He would be a private practice lawyer from 1844 to 1851 and would also be clerk for the Ohio State House of Representatives from 1848 to 1851. In 1849, he became a founding member of the Literary Club of Cincinnati. He would also serve as the Hamilton County, Ohio Court of Common Pleas judge from 1851 to 1853. He would return to practicing law at his private practice from 1853 to 1858, and then served time in the Ohio State Senate from 1855 to 1857. 1858, he would become the United States Attorney for the Southern District of Ohio until 1861. In 1861, he would join the Union Army during the Civil War under the 23rd Ohio Infantry as a lieutenant colonel. He would serve under future President Rutherford B. Hayes and alongside further future President William B. McKinley. Or not, just William McKinley. Sorry. He would be appointed colonel of the 51st Ohio Infantry Regiment. He would then resign from the military in 1863 and be elected a judge for the Superior Court of Cincinnati. Now remember, the war is still going on, but we're kind of hitting a point where the tides are turning. But anyway, he would return to private practice in 1865 and there serve for quite a while. But he would also serve as the counsel for Rutherford B. Hayes during the contended election of 1876, in 1876 and 1877. So yeah, this election was very contended, very tense. There was a lot of hurt feelings, shall we say, following the Civil War a decade before, and Reconstruction imposed upon the South. But that would be removed under Rutherford B. Hayes. Even though Hayes would lose the popular vote, he would win the electoral vote. Yeah, there was a lot going on with that, so. Anyway, he would serve as the counsel for Rutherford B. Hayes during that time. He would also have an unsuccessful run to the United States House of Representatives in 1876, although he would then win a special election for U.S. senators serving from 1877 to 1881. Before finally, he would be nominated to the U.S. Supreme Court by Rutherford B. Hayes on January the 26th, 1881, to replace Noah Haynes Swain. But Congress would not vote on that nomination because the switching of elections, I mean, the new term of Congress and president and everything had yet to begin, which would begin in March. So yeah, they basically left it sitting on the table. But they also felt Matthews was too tied to the outgoing president, Rutherford B. Hayes, because the thing is, Hayes and Matthews were both at Kenyon College at the same time. They were both members of the Literary Club of Cincinnati. So remember, Matthews helped found it. Hayes would join a year later. Hayes was Matthews' commanding officer when they both joined the Civil War in the same regiment. So yeah. And then he was even counsel to Rutherford B. Hayes over the actual election. So they knew each other fairly well. There is no other way to really say it, because they've had ample opportunity to be acquainted. So, yeah. But on March the 14th, 1881, Matthews is renominated, this time by the new president, James A. Garfield, and would be confirmed by the U.S. Senate on a split hair margin. 24 to 23 was the vote. So yeah, it was, even after Rutherford B. Hayes had left office, he had a time trying to get confirmed to be a Supreme Court justice. So yeah. But anyway, he would take office on May the 17th, 1881. On January the 22nd, 1885, his first wife, Mary Ann Minnie Black Matthews, she would pass away. And then just over a year later, on June the 23rd, 1886, he would marry Mary Kay Feaker. He would stay on the bench, dying in Washington, D.C. on March the 22nd, 1889. So that was a look at Matthews there. Stanley Matthews. So, yeah. Now, the next person we're looking at is Horace Gray. He was born on March the 24th, 1828. In Boston, Massachusetts, to Horace and Harriet Upham Gray. His grandfather was a man named William Gray, who was a merchant and a politician who served first in the Massachusetts State Senate, and then he served as lieutenant governor. So there is some political history in the family. Political heritage, if you will. Anyway, he would attend Harvard College at 13 years of age, graduating 4 years later at 17 years of age. Now, he would then travel Europe, seeing the sights before his family's business started to struggle a bit, and thus he would return home. Now, upon his return home, he attended Harvard Law School, graduated in 1849, and he would read law and be admitted to the bar in 1851. He became a private practice lawyer, and in 1854 would become a reporter for the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court. He would also serve during that time as counsel. Remember, this is legal counsel when we say this, so that was the same with Matthews and Rutherford B. Hayes. In this instance, he's legal counsel to the governor of Massachusetts. Now, he would be elected as a member of the American Antiquarian Society in 1860 and elected as a fellow of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences in 1866. So the guy was intelligent. He was highly intelligent. He would be appointed to the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court as an associate justice in 1864 at 36 years of age. He would then be raised to the position of Chief Justice of the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court on September the 5th, 1873. So yeah, he's only on the court for 9 years, and he goes from associate to Chief Justice. While the Chief Justice there, Horace Gray would hire future Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court, Louis D. Brandeis, as a law clerk. So yeah, not only would Gray become a member of the U.S. Supreme Court himself, he would hire a law clerk to work under him that would later become a member of the Supreme Court as well. So, he would be nominated by President Chester A. Arthur on December the 19th, 1881, to fill the seat vacated after the death of Nathan Clifford. He would be confirmed the very next day by a vote in the Senate of 51 to 5. So he was one of the choices that, hey, there's no doubt about this one. He would take his seat on January the 9th, 1882. In 1889, he would marry Jane Matthews, daughter of fellow U.S. Supreme Court Associate Justice Stanley Matthews. So yeah, Gray would stay on the court until his death on September the 15th, 1902. So yeah. Let's see, when did I say Stanley Matthews died? I'm kind of curious. If I know they were both like in 1889. Did he wait until Matthews was dead to marry her? Matthews dies March the 22nd. He would marry... I don't have the date. But yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, did he wait until Matthews had passed away to marry his daughter? It's like, what's going on in this particular instance? But anyway, yeah, that's a look at two more of the Supreme Court Associate Justices that would be assigned to the bench under Morrison Waite. So yeah, well, we're starting to see quite a bit happen there would be 2 more that would join the Supreme Court under Morrison Waite, and we'll have those in the next episode. But that'll be it for this episode. As always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.